The man wiped the ice skate clean and then forced his mouth open. A decaying tooth had rotted away. With no doctor nearby, he made a bold decision. He shoved the skate into his mouth and grabbed a stone. After a moment of mental preparation, he didn't hesitate and slammed the stone onto the ice skate. With a sharp cry, the rotten tooth flew out, and the man collapsed to the ground in excruciating pain. Despite the unbearable pain, he couldn't help but feel a sense of relief, because compared to the brutal fate of his colleagues, he had been lucky enough to wash up on a deserted island. He wrote a distress signal on the sand, dragged the kayak onto the shore, and built a makeshift shelter, silently praying that a passing plane would spot him. However, as night fell, there was still no sign of rescue. To make matters worse, the tide had swallowed his distress signal on the shore, so he had to find some wooden stakes and rebuild a more secure position. While waiting for help, the man knew he had to take care of his basic needs. Fortunately, he quickly found a few delivery packages washed up on the shore. He suddenly heard a strange noise. When he turned around, he discovered it was just a coconut falling to the ground. But the coconut shell was too hard, and despite his best efforts, the man couldn't crack it open. He picked up a rock and struck it with all his might. However, the rock shattered in his hand, and the coconut remained unscathed. Fortunately, the edges of the broken stone were sharp enough, and the man was finally able to cut through the coconut shell, creating a small hole from which he drank the sweet coconut water. However, water alone wasn't enough. The man knew he had to find food. Before doing so, he decided to familiarize himself with the island's surroundings. Along the way, he unexpectedly stumbled upon a cave but didn't rush inside. Instead, he decided to climb to the top of the mountain to get a better view of the island. But after walking a short distance, his bare foot was cut by sharp rocks. He stopped, found a stone by the shore, and tore a small piece from his pants. He stuffed some herbs inside, made a makeshift bandage, and tied it around his injured foot. With the makeshift shoe providing protection, the man finally made it to the mountaintop. He surveyed the surroundings and confirmed the island's isolation. A deep sense of despair overwhelmed him. But just then, he spotted something floating in the sea. His heart leapt with excitement, and he immediately rushed toward the water. When he reached the figure, he was devastated to realize it was the body of the deceased pilot. The man suppressed his sorrow, dragged the pilot's body back to the shore, and searched through the pilot's pockets, finding a working flashlight. Though the shoes were a different size, he used rocks to modify them, managing to wear them. By chance, he also found a wallet with a family photo of the pilot. He buried the pilot on the island and carefully placed the photo in his own pocket. To honor him, he carved the pilot's name and birth date into a large rock. Even with a pair of shoes, the man still lacked hunting experience, and finding food on this lonely island remained a struggle. One evening, he noticed a faint light in the distance. Hope sparked within him, and he waved his arms and shouted, trying to draw attention. However, because it was already dark and the distance was too great, his cries went unheard. He quickly grabbed the flashlight, desperately shaking it and sending out distress signals. Although the faint light couldn't catch anyone's attention from far away, the man didn't give up. The next day,